In today's video, we'll cover Amazon Marketing Stream AMS, which is Amazon's official push notification system for advertising data. The idea is simple. Instead of you writing a job that asks Amazon for yesterday's performance report, Amazon sends you hourly updates as soon as they're ready. You get sponsored products, sponsored brands, and sponsored display data, traffic metrics, conversion data, and budget usage, all broken down by hour. Why does this matter? Because daily reports are too slow if you're doing anything serious with bid automation or budget pacing. By the time you pull yesterday's report and act on it, you've already missed the window. With Marketing Stream, you have data from an hour ago. That changes what you can build. Amazon delivers everything through AWS, specifically to an SQSQ or a Firehose stream that you provision in your own AWS account. So the data lands in your infrastructure. You own it from the moment it arrives. That's exactly what we're going to cover. Let's pull up the screen and see things in action. First, the two things you need before you can use Marketing Stream at all. Number one, access to the Amazon Ads API, specifically a registered app with the right credentials. Number two, an AWS account, because that's where your queue lives. Then we'll go into AWS, set up the infrastructure, subscribe a client profile to Marketing Stream using the API, and finally write the Python code in a later video to read and parse the data that comes in. If you already have Ads API access set up, the actual subscription step takes about 10 minutes. Most of the time goes into the AWS side on the first run. To use Marketing Stream, you need an active Amazon Ads API integration. That means you have a registered app in the Amazon Ads console and you have your client ID, client secret, and a refresh token for the advertiser account you want to subscribe. If you've watched the earlier videos in this series on getting Ads API access, you already have these. If not, I'll link that video in the description. Alright, we're in AWS now. The first thing to check, and this matters, is which region you're in. Marketing Stream only delivers data to 3 regions. North America advertisers go to US East 1, Europe to EU West 1, and Far East to US West 2. Wrong region means no data or errors down the line. Make sure the correct region is selected in the top right of your console before touching anything else. We're on an EU advertiser, so we're in EU West 1, Europe, Ireland. Step 1 is the Firehose delivery stream. Go to Amazon Data Firehose. Click Create Firehose Stream. Source is direct. Destination is Amazon S3. Give it a meaningful name. I'm using mine. Skip the transform and convert section. We don't need that. Alright, let's click Create. But wait, under Destination Settings, we need an S3 bucket first. This is where your hourly data files will actually land. Click Create. It opens S3 in a new tab. Give the bucket a name, confirm you're in the right region, leave everything else default and create it. Come back to the Firehose tab, click Browse, select the bucket you just made, but wait, let's reload first. And here is the S3 bucket we just created. Hit Choose. Now scroll down and click Create Firehose Stream. I see. Here's where most people might hit their first error. Tries to auto-create an IAM service role so Firehose can write to S3, and on some accounts this fails. You'll see a red banner like this saying Firehose is unable to assume role. Don't panic, we'll fix it in the next step. So to fix the role error, we need to create the role manually in IAM. Open IAM in a new tab. Go to Roles and then, first click Create Role. Search for Firehose, select it. On the permission step, search for Amazon S3 full access and select it. Name the role something like Firehose Service Role AMS EU West 1 and create it. Now back on the Firehose page, in Advanced Settings, switch to Choose Existing IAM Role. Search for the role you just created, select it. Now hit Create Firehose Stream again. Boom, here we are. This time it goes through. Green banner, Datababa AMS was successfully created. Click the copy icon next to the ARN. That's the first ARN we need. Open a notepad or save it any other place. It looks like ARNAWS Firehose EU West 1, so on and so forth. Good. Now the Firehose stream is done. Next we need two IAM roles, specifically for Amazon Marketing Stream. These are completely different from the service role we just created. These are the roles AMS itself assumes to push data and create subscriptions on your behalf. The first one is Firehose Subscription role. This gives Amazon's SNS service permission to put records into your Firehose. Back in IAM create role, this time select custom trust policy. The full JSON for this is in the description and in the setup guide linked in the comments. Just copy and paste it. It allows two principals: SNS Amazon, AWS.com, and Amazon's internal reviewer role. That account ID is Amazon's, not yours. It's a fixed value, don't change it. Skip the add permissions step entirely. Click next straight through. Name it Firehose Subscription role. Create it. Now click into the role. Permissions, add permissions, create inline policy. Switch to the JSON editor. Again, this policy is in the description and setup guide, just paste it in. It grants 5 Firehose actions like describe, list, and put record and more. The important part is the resource field. It must be the exact ARN of your Firehose stream. Paste the stream ARN you saved earlier. Name the policy Firehose Subscription Role Policy and save it. Once that's done, copy this role's ARN from the summary panel. That's the second ARN for our notepad. Now the second AMS role, Firehose Subscriber role, same flow, create role, custom trust policy. This policy is also in the description and setup guide. Paste it in. On the permissions step, you will see a huge list of managed policies. Ignore all of them. Click next without selecting anything. The permissions for this role come from the inline policy, not here. Name it Firehose Subscriber role. Create it, click in. Add permissions, create inline policy, JSON editor. This policy, also in the description, has two statements. This is what lets AMS hand the subscription role over to SNS when it creates the topic. For SP traffic in EU, the SNS ARNs by dataset and region are in the setup guide in the description. Name the policy Firehose Subscriber Role Policy and save. Now copy this role's ARN from the summary panel. That's our third ARN. So at this point, we have three things in our notepad: the Firehose Stream ARN, the Firehose Subscription Role ARN, and the Firehose Subscriber Role ARN. That's everything we need for the API call. 3 ARNs in the notepad. Now we open terminal and make the subscription call. The full command is in the setup guide in the description and pinned in the comments. Copy it from there and swap in your own values. Let me walk you through what you're actually filling in. The command is a post request to the Stream Subscriptions endpoint on the Ads API. There are 3 headers you need to set. First, Amazon Advertising API Client ID. That's your app's client ID from the Amazon Ads console. Second, Amazon Advertising API Scope. That's your advertiser's profile ID. Third, authorization bearer, then your access token. If you're not sure how to get an access token, there's a video on that linked in the description. One thing that catches people: if you're on an EU profile like we are, the base URL must be advertisingapie.amazon.com, not the default advertising-api.amazon.com. Getting this wrong doesn't always give a clear error. Quick note on what we're subscribing to: we're only subscribing to SP traffic right now. That's sponsored products traffic, impressions, clicks, and spend at the keyword and placement level, broken down by hour. SP conversion, SB traffic, SD traffic, budget usage, those are all separate datasets. Each one needs its own API call with a different client request token. We'll cover those in a follow-up video. Now what you're seeing on screen here is actually our second attempt at running this command. We had already run it successfully before recording this part, so when we ran it again on camera, the API came back with a duplicate idempotent token message. That's not an error. It means I've already seen a request with this exact client request token and I already processed it. The subscription exists. Amazon uses this to prevent you from accidentally creating duplicates if you retry a failed request. So the way to confirm everything is actually live is the second command, a get request to the same endpoint. Same headers, no body, just get. You can see the response here, a subscriptions array with our entry. Status is active. Dataset ID is SP-traffic and all three ARNs are there exactly as we set them up. That's the confirmation. Subscription is live and data will start flowing. Subscription is active. Let's go check the S3 bucket. Right now it's empty. That's expected. It pushes data on the hour. It drops the previous hour's data right at the start of the next hour. So we need to wait. We'll come back after about 2 hours. Alright, here we are 2 hours later. Refresh the bucket. You can see a folder has appeared. Click through year, month, day, hour. Firehose creates the structure automatically, so the data is already partitioned by time the moment it lands. Inside the hour folder, you'll see the actual files. Long UUID style names, no extension. These are the raw batches Firehose wrote. Click the bigger one, hit download, open it up, one JSON record per line. Each record is one keyword or placement for that specific hour window. From here you can load this into a database, build a Python parser around it, wire it into a dashboard, or use it as the input for automated bid logic. We'll cover that in the next video. That's the full setup, from zero to hourly ad data landing in your queue. Marketing Stream is one of those things that sounds complicated until you actually do it. The stack handles most of the heavy lifting, and once it's running, it just works in the background. I've put together the full setup script, links in the description. If you run into any errors during setup, drop a comment and I'll help you debug it. And if this was useful, the next video covers what you can actually build on top of this data. Hourly bid automation and budget pacing and more. See you there.